Hi, welcome to the channel Agri Entomology Tutors. If you are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe the channel to get all the notifications of uploaded videos. In this video, we shall know about the epidermis, epidermal gland cells, wax canals, pore canals, and composition of cuticle. We already discussed about this epidermis and their function in the last video. Now we shall move in detail about this epidermis. As I already told that this epidermis is a cellular layer of the insect integument, and the density of this epidermal cells varies from 3000 to the 11,000 per millimeter square. These individual epidermal cells uh, in the apical part of this cells, the plasma membrane forms a series of short projection or ridges and which are flattened at the tips. These called as plasma membrane plaques. This plasma membrane plaques mainly involved in the secretion of the outer epicuticle and chitin fibers. Here you can see in this picture, this is the epidermal cell, and in the apical uh, side or apical part, this forms a apical plasma membrane plaques. This mainly involved in the secretion of outer epicuticle and chitin fibers. The series of epidermal cells which are mainly held together at the apex by zonule adherents and lower side by septate junction. Here you can see the adherents junctions and the septate junctions. The series of epidermal cells which are loosely bound each other and which leaving a space in between the different epidermal cells, that space is called as lateral limb space. This gap or limb space mainly helps in the movement of 1,000 molecular weight molecule substances like hormones. The apical plasma membrane forms a plaques-like structures, but the basal part of the plasma membrane, which is commonly flat and which is attached to the basal lamina or basement membrane through the hemidesmosomes. All the epidermal cells, one or the other way, which are glandular in function, as because they secrete the cuticle and also they secrete the enzymes which are mainly responsible for the digestion as well as absorption of the cuticle at the time of molting as a molting gel or molting fluid. Along with these, some of the epidermal cells which are specialized are some of these modified as a glandular in function, and they fall in three categories: class 1 gland cells, class 2 gland cells, and the class 3 gland cells. As you can see here in this picture, this is the class 1 gland cell. These gland cells you can see here which form the apical plasma membrane which forms a microvilli or parallel lamina. And the cuticle which is present above these gland cells which are unmodified, and these gland cells are mainly involved in pheromone production. This class 1 gland cells are mainly involved in production of pheromone. Then coming to the class 2 gland cells, these class 2 gland cells are less common, and they do not have any direct contact with the cuticle, and these class 2 gland cells are mainly reported in case of the sternal gland of a termite. Then coming to the class 3 gland cells, here you can see the picture of the class 3 gland cells. These gland cells are mainly present just below the epidermal cells. This is the gland which mainly present just below the epidermal cells, and which this gland is connected exterior by a small duct. This gland mainly consisting of a cavity. This cavity is covered by a microvilli. As you can see here, this is the gland cells, and this is the cavity, and this cavity is surrounded by microvilli. This class 3 gland cells mainly involved in the production of some defensive secretions and also pheromones, and this gland cells mainly involved in the production or secretion of the cement on the outer surface of the cuticle. Another one interesting thing is the neurons as well as support cells of the mechanoreceptors as well as chemoreceptors, which are mainly associated with the cuticle, are also derived from these epidermal cells. The wax canals. In this picture, you can see the cuticle part. The first one is the cement layer, wax layer, the outer epicuticle, inner epicuticle, wax canal filaments, exocuticle, and the pore canals. These wax canals or wax filaments are 100 Armstrong in diameter. These wax canals are continuous with pore canals penetrating the inner epicuticle and cuticle. As in the pictures, you can see the wax filaments are penetrating. Uh, are As you can see in the picture, these wax filaments are continuous with the pore canals, and also this wax filament penetrate through the inner epicuticle and also cuticle. And this wax canals mainly involved in the transporting of wax molecules to the epicutical part.